Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wheresoever you're watching this video. Welcome to all. Welcome to the second video of electromagnetic induction. Okay. Now to start off with it, we'll start off with the first topic of this video, self-induction. 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 What is actually self-induction? Self-induction is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil due to change in current in the same coil. Let me explain it to you. Suppose I have a coil like this and I have a battery and a tapping key attached to it. Initially, no current is flowing through it. In case no current is flowing through it, there is no magnetic field in this coil. In case I just tap on this, what will happen? The current will start flowing through it. If the current starts flowing through it, that means that magnetic field will also start increasing in it. Initially, the current was zero. It will take few moments for this current to increase and to attain that constant value. That means at that stage, the current is not constant, it is changing. Since the current is changing, the magnetic field across this, it will also be changing. As a result of it, magnetic flux will change. Since this magnetic flux will change, it will produce an induced EMF in the opposite direction. As according to Lenz's rule, the actual production of induced EMF opposes its own cause. What is the cause of this induced EMF? The increase in current. So here the induced EMF will be produced in such a way that will be opposing its increase in current. Okay, and how does it let's see the phenomenon. The definition of it is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil due to change in magnetic flux. I'll say here, what is the change in magnetic flux? Change in current here, change in current in this case in the same coil. Here change in current is bringing about change in magnetic flux. So I can say according to this formula, E is equal to minus d phi b by dt. Here this phi b is equal to Li. So it becomes E is equal to minus d by dt Li. L is a constant. And becomes E is equal to minus L di by dt. L is the coefficient of self-inductance. E is the induced EMF and di by dt is the change in current. I repeat what I was telling you. In this coil, initially there is no current flowing. That means initially what is the current? The current is zero. If I tap this key, the current starts increasing. Because of this increase in current, magnetic field also increases in this coil. As a result of it, magnetic flux also increases. Due to this change in magnetic flux, induced EMF is produced. This induced EMF is this phenomenon because of which this induced EMF is produced is called as self-induction. So here mathematically E is equal to minus d phi by dt. This is a mixture of which two things? Faraday's laws and Lenz's rule. Faraday's laws is only till here. The negative sign is telling about the Lenz's rule. Phi b is equal to Li. Phi b is the magnetic flux. It is also given by another formula Li. L is the coefficient of self-inductance. I is the current. E is equal to minus d phi by dt. So instead of phi b, I am writing Li. And this L being constant, being a coefficient of self-inductance, it comes out minus L di by dt is the thing. Now what is the SI unit of this? It's a new term for you. SI unit is Henry. SI unit of this is Henry. SI unit of self-inductance is Henry. If I talk about the dimensional formula, if I see from here, it is E divided by di by dt. So here, let me just rewrite it. What can I write about L? L is equal to magnitude of E divided by di by dt. As we know, the unit for this is volts, the unit for this is ampere per second. So I can also write it in some other way. The dimensional formula for this is ml square t minus 2 a minus 1, and so it becomes a minus 1 ml square t minus 3 a minus 1 divided by a t a t minus 1. So this whole thing becomes what? ml square t minus 3 becomes t minus 2 a minus 2 again. Okay, this becomes a dimensional one. I'll just repeat this thing again. Whenever there is increase or decrease in magnetic flux across a coil, induced EMF is produced in the same coil. I'm using this word decrease again. Now what happens? Once this current is constant, you keep on tapping the key, the current becomes constant. The current becomes constant, magnetic field also becomes constant, and no induced EMF will be produced. But now, if you again switch off this key, if you switch off this key, then the current will start decreasing from the maximum value, from the steady value to 0. As a result of it, the magnetic field also starts decreasing from that constant value towards 0. Again there is change in magnetic flux because magnetic field is changing. Since there is again change in magnetic flux, again induced EMF will be produced. So when you switch on or off, induced EMF is produced. When you tap the key for on or you tap the key for off, in both the cases, induced EMF is produced. This is a very common example in daily life. Like whenever you switch off a switch or switch on a switch, many a times you've seen spark is produced. This is because of the same reason. Whenever you switch on, the current increases from 0 to a particular maximum steady value. That means there is again change in current, change in magnetic flux, so induced EMF is produced. In case you switch off any switch, again what happens? The current goes from a constant value to 0 value. Again magnetic flux decreases, change in magnetic flux takes place, again induced EMF is produced. So in both the cases, induced EMF is produced, and because of it, a spark might be there. Many times it is visible also. So it is always unsafe to switch on or switch off a switch if there is any leakage of any inflammable gas, like this LPG leakage or methane gas leakage. It is always advised neither to switch on nor to switch off any of the electrical appliances, because of self-induction, induced EMF can be produced, which can ignite a spark and which can light up the whole place. Okay, so this is which can cause a major fire. So what is self-induction? I have explained. Coefficient of self-inductance, I have told you it is L, which is SI unit of it is Henry, and dimensional formula I have told you. Now how can we define 1 Henry in terms of this? How can we define 1 Henry? Define 1 Henry. Define 1 Henry. For this, I just come back to the formula. What is L is equal to E magnitude of di by dt. In this case, if I say if E is equal to 1 volt, what is that 1 volt? Induced EMF. And di by dt is equal to 1 ampere per second. What is it? Rate of change of current in coil. Now let's define. Then what is L? L is equal to 1 H. Now can you define? Yes. 1 Henry is the value of the coefficient of self-inductance. It is the value of the coefficient of self-inductance if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in a coil due to a rate of change of current of 1 ampere per second. I repeat, 1 Henry is the value of coefficient of self-inductance if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in a coil due to a change of current of 1 ampere per second or due to rate of change of current of 1 ampere per second. Okay, so let's define here. 1 Henry is the coefficient of the value of coefficient of self-inductance if 1 volt of 1 volt of induced EMF is reduced in it due to a change in current of 1 ampere per second in the same coil. Okay, so this is how we can define 1 Henry. Now, this coefficient of self-inductance, it actually does not depend upon current and rate of change of current and voltage. It is a constant quantity. Just like resistance does not depend upon voltage and current, resistance depends upon resistivity, length of the wire, area of cross section. Same thing is over here. This coefficient of self-inductance does not depend upon E and di by dt. These are not the things which will decide the value of L. In fact, the geometrical shape, the permeability of the medium and the number of turns in the coil will decide the value of L. Let's see what are the factors on which L depends. Let's heading is factors on which value of L. L means coefficient of self-inductance depends. Okay, let me consider a coil whose length is L, and this is a battery which I have connected, and here L is equal to total length, N is equal to number of turns per unit length, A is equal to area of each coil, okay, and next thing which I am saying is I is the current flowing through it, Now let's find out the value of capital L. This small is the length, I am telling you again. First thing is, what is pi? Previously also we have written pi is equal to L. This is known to us. Second thing, there is another formula of phi b or the magnetic flux, which is equal to B dot A. We have done it in the very beginning. Magnetic flux is dot product of magnetic field and area of the coil. Now if I talk about this solenoid, this is B. B can be written as mu naught Ni, where N is the number of turns per unit length, I is the current flowing, mu is the permeability of the medium. Okay. What about A total area? Because each turn is having an area A. If I talk about the total area will be equal to the total area of all the turns. So let me find out how many turns are there. Total length is equal to L. Number of turns per unit length is equal to N. So total number of turns, it comes out to NL. So total area means area of all turns taken together, becomes NLA, because each turn was having each coil was having an area A, so it becomes NLA. So I'll just multiply these things. phi b is equal to, if I take it, magnitude of b, magnitude of a, cos of 0 degree. Why cos of 0 degree? Magnetic field and area of the turns, both of them, they are having the same direction, so it is cos 0. So it becomes b a, that's it. What is the value of b? Mu naught n I. What is a? N L A. So this becomes phi b is equal to mu naught n square L A. This was my first equation. This is my second equation. Let us equate both of them and I'll get L is equal to mu naught n square L A. Mu naught n square L A. I just missed out, I know, yeah. So L is equal to mu naught n square L A. That means the factors which decide the value of L is the permeability of the medium, number of turns per unit length, L means the length of the coil, and the area of each turn. Let's quickly revise what we have done. We have taken a solenoid. Solenoid was having length L, area of each turn was A, I was the current flowing, and N is the number of turns per unit length. If I talk about the magnetic direction of magnetic field and the current, I find, let's say this is plus, this is minus, this is minus, you can see. So obviously if current is flowing like this side becomes the this becomes the north pole and this becomes the south pole. Inside the magnet, the electric magnetic lines of force are going from south pole to north pole. So this is the direction of magnetic field. Each turn is having area A. You can see in the diagram itself that magnetic field and area of each turn, it is making an angle 0 degree with each other. Now I come to this formula, phi is equal to Li. Next, another thing I know, magnetic flux can also be written as dot product of magnetic field and area of the coil. So Ba cos 0 degree, B is equal to mu naught Ni is the magnetic field. Area of one turn is A. Total number of turns in this coil is N into L. Why? Because N is the number of turns per unit length, small n. So N into L becomes the total number of turns. So total area becomes NLA. I put this data over here. I get two formulas. Phi b is equal to mu naught n square LAI. Another one is Li. I compare first and second equation. I'm getting this mu naught n square LA. So mu naught n square LA is this formula itself is telling up the factors on which coefficient of self-inductance depends. So this becomes what? Permeability of the medium. Here it is free space of permeability of the medium. What's the medium will be? Number of turns per unit length, length of the coil, and finally the area of cross section of each turn. Okay. Now I come to the next topic, mutual induction. Mutual induction. Now in case of mutual induction, as the word suggests also, mutual induction. Mutual induction, I have, let's say, one coil like this, in which I'm having a battery, I'm having a tapping key. Another coil is very close to it. Just for my convenience, I've drawn like this. Let's say the number of turns, this is N1, this is N2, and let's say there's a galvanometer attached to it. There's no battery. So what we do is, if we tap this key of the first coil, then the current will start increasing in the first coil. Just because current starts increasing in the first coil, magnetic field will also start increasing in this coil. These two coils are mutually coupled to each other. That means whatsoever magnetic field change will come over here, a same magnetic field will come over here. We are assuming that there is no loss of any type of energy over here. As a result of it, the magnetic flux will change in this. Since the magnetic flux change in this, the current will be produced, induced current will be produced in the second coil. So this phenomenon is called as mutual induction. What is a phenomenon? It is a phenomenon of production of induced EMF in the second coil due to change in magnetic flux in the neighboring first coil. Okay, so it is a phenomenon of production of, definition is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in the coil due to change in magnetic flux. Again here, due to change in current in the neighboring coil. Neighboring here again 5 to 1. 5 to 1 induced EMF produced in second because of 1. It is equal to M to 1 I. What is M to 1? M to 1 is coefficient of mutual induction. What is 5 to 1? Magnetic flux in second coil due to first coil. This is what it means. So here M21 I is the current. I am considering whatsoever current is changing over, whatsoever current is flowing in this. Again, what is induced EMF over here? Induced EMF is equal to minus d phi to 1 divided by dt. The induced EMF produced in second because of change in magnetic flux. Okay, so this becomes minus d by dt. Phi to 1 is M21 I, and M21 comes out di by dt. So how will I write M21? M21 is equal to again E divided by di by dt magnitude. Again SI unit is what? SI unit is Henry only. SI unit is Henry of this mutual inductance. This M21 is called as coefficient of mutual inductance. So let's quickly summarize the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil due to change in magnetic flux in the neighboring coil. As in this case, I am tapping the key here. As a result of it, current is flowing in this. Because of this, the current is increasing from 0 to a certain value. Due to this, magnetic field is also increasing and magnetic flux also increasing. As a result of it, as a result of change in magnetic flux in this coil, induced EMF is produced in the second. This is what is happening. Okay, so magnetic field is changed, magnetic flux is changed in first coil. The same magnetic flux is transferred to the second coil, because of which induced EMF is produced in the second coil. 5 to 1 by the formula is equal to M21I, where it is flux in second because of 1. It is a flux in second because of the first coil, and E is equal to rate of change of magnetic flux, so minus d phi 2 by dt. Again, this becomes minus d by dt, M21 di by dt, M21 comes out, di by dt, and this in terms of magnitude it becomes this. I am not considering the sign. Again, if I go with the SI unit is what? Henry. SI unit of M21 is Henry. Let me talk about the dimensional formula. It becomes volts. Volts means volts, and this becomes A by T. Or if I talk about the formula, dimensional formula, it becomes ml square T minus 2 divided by AT, because it is work done divided by charge. So work done divided by charge is AT divided by AT minus 1. So again I will rearrange these, and it becomes equal to ml square A minus 2 T minus 2. This becomes a formula. You can see from here only. This becomes A square like this. So it becomes ml square A minus 2 T minus 2. This becomes a dimensional formula. SI unit as before is Henry unit. Now again we can define 1 Henry over here. Yes. How will we define 1 Henry? Henry, M21 is equal to E divided by di by dt. So question is define 1 Henry. Define 1 Henry. I'll say if E is equal to 1 volt, di by dt is equal to 1 ampere per second, then M21 is equal to 1 Henry. Yes? Define 1 Henry. So how will we define 1 Henry? 1 Henry is a mutual inductance between two coils if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in the second coil due to rate of change of current of 1 ampere per second in the first coil. So here the phenomenal production of induced EMF in the coil due to change in magnetic flux. Basically what is it is change in current which we are considering, because of which there will be change in magnetic flux in the neighboring coil. So I am assuming in the first coil the change in current is 1 ampere per second, and because of which if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in the first coil, then the coefficient of mutual inductance becomes 1 Henry. So 1 Henry is a mutual inductance between two neighboring coils if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in it due to a rate of change of current of 1 ampere per second in the first coil. Let me write it. One Henry is the coefficient of mutual inductance between two neighboring coils if 1 volt of induced EMF is produced in it due to change of current of 1 ampere per second in the first produced in the first coil. One volt of induced EMF is produced in it in a coil due to change in current of 1 ampere per second in the neighboring coil. Okay. Now this is the definition, but if someone again asks you what are the factors on which coefficient of mutual inductance depends, you cannot say it is electric voltage or electric current. But again, the geometrical shape, the number of turns in it, and that material out of which it is made, that is the permeability of the medium, that will matter, and not this thing. This is the definition 1 Henry, true. But if the question is what are the factors on which coefficient of mutual inductance depends, then it is not the answer. And let me tell you one more thing. The difference between induction and inductance. Many students consider it as same. No. Induction is the phenomenon due to which induced EMF is produced. But inductance is the coefficient of self-inductance. It means this. The process is induction and the coefficient has the name inductance. They are not at all the same thing. Now let's come to the factors on which coefficient of mutual inductance depends. Mutual inductance depends. Now again I am drawing a similar diagram. This is my initial circuit in which I have connected a battery. Let's say N1 is the number of turns in it and L is the length of it. Then I have another coil in which the number of turns is L, N2, and let's say the L in it is also L, and this has a, okay, and both of them are 100% mutually coupled. So N1 is equal to number of turns per unit length in first coil. N2 is equal to number of turns per unit length in second coil. Just for a area of each turn, I'm considering area of each turn, and L is equal to length of both coils. Okay, length of both coils is L only. Now let me come to this formula phi 2 1. Flux in second because of 1. Flux in 2 because of 1. So it becomes M21I. Again, if I'll just sum up this equation as 1. Second thing, phi 2 1. Magnetic flux in second because of the first coil. That means magnetic field of the first and total area of the second. Always remember like this. If I'm writing phi 2 1, इसका मतलब मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स फील्ड है फर्स्ट का, एरिया है सेकंड का. ठीक है, 2 1 का मतलब होता है मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इन 2 बिकॉज ऑफ 1. अब मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स 2 में है कि जो एरिया है वो 2 का है, पर क्योंकि 1 के कारण तो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड फर्स्ट का होगा. तो मेरी फर्स्ट कॉइल थी, सेकंड कॉइल थी, फर्स्ट कॉइल है, सेकंड कॉइल है, तो phi 2 1. Now let me calculate this value, but before that, B A21 A2 total, this is equal to cos of 0 degree. Again, because of the same reason, magnetic field and the area, they are always making an angle of 0 degree in this case. So it becomes B1 A2 T. That's it. What is B1? B1 is equal to mu naught N1 I. Because number of turns in this is N1. What about A2 total? Total number of turns in the second coil. Number of turns per unit coil is N2. Total length is L and area of each coil is this, so N2LA. Now let me find out the value of phi 2 1. Phi 2 1 is equal to now mu naught N1 I N2LA. This becomes my second equation. Let's compare phi. I get from here M21 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 L and A. So the factors on which coefficient mutual inductance depends: permeability of the medium, number of turns of both the coil, length of each coil, and the area of each turn. This becomes the now if you ask me, what if I would have done phi 1 2, in case current is increasing in this, magnetic field is increasing in this, magnetic flux is changing and induced EMF is produced in this, then isn't it possible that the opposite is also happening? Opposite मतलब कि इसके अंदर अब क्योंकि इंड्यूस करंट पहले कुछ नहीं था, अब इंड्यूस करंट इसके अंदर जीरो से कुछ बढ़ना शुरू हुआ, इसके अंदर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड चेंज होगा, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड चेंज होगा तो इसके अंदर भी इंड्यूस EMF प्रोड्यूस होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ऑपोजिट, यस ऑपोजिट इज आल्सो ट्रू. So what we'll do in case opposite is true? Let me continue with the same, stopping this portion. What will happen if I say phi 1 2? Phi 1 2 is equal to M12 I. Let me number this equation as 3. Similarly, phi 1 2 is equal to B2 dot A1 total by flux in 1 because of 2. So मैग्नेटिक फील्ड 2 का और एरिया फर्स्ट का. दैट मीन्स B2 क्या हो गया? B2 इज इक्वल टू म्यू नॉट N1 I. दिस इज cos 0, we know this. What is A1 total? N1 L A. B2 हो गया म्यू नॉट N2 I. नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स जो इसमें N2 थी, करंट है म्यू नॉट I. दिस N1 L A. N1 LA, N1 number of turns in the first coil, total number of turns per unit length, N1 into L is total length, area of each turn is A, cos of 0. So this becomes mu naught N1 N2 L A I. Again if I equate 3 and 4, if I equate 3 and 4, I get M1 2 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 L A. So aren't they equal? That means M12 is equal to M21. Common application of this is step down and step up transformer, which we will be doing in the other classes. Okay? Is it clear that mutual inductance of 2 because of 1 and 1 because of 2, both of them are equal over here. This is what I have explained. I quickly explain once again. This was my first coil. I tap the key in this. When I tap the key, the current increases. The current increases because of this. The magnetic field increases. Since another coil is mutually coupled, whatsoever magnetic field increase in this, the same is experienced by this. So there is change in magnetic flux because of which induced EMF is produced in the second coil. So here phi21 is equal to M21 I. So phi21 is magnetic field change in 1. Because of that, the area of the second, this becomes a magnetic flux in 2 because of 1. I substitute the values. B1 is mu naught N1I, A2T is N2LA, total number of turns the second coil. We multiply this, we get phi to 1. First and second equation we equate, and I get M21 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 LA. For the second part, I am trying to do the opposite. I am saying कि इसमें करंट चेंज हुआ क्योंकि इंड्यूस करंट पहले जीरो था, जीरो से इंक्रीज हुआ, तो इसके अंदर करंट इंक्रीज होगा, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इंक्रीज होगा, तो इसके अंदर इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ भी प्रोड्यूस होगा. कैसे प्रोड्यूस होगा? 512 इज इक्वल टू M12I, उल्टा लिख दिया. 512 इज इक्वल टू B2 डॉट A1 टोटल. B2 मतलब मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इसमें प्रोड्यूस हुआ. कितना प्रोड्यूस हुआ? म्यू नॉट N2I. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द टोटल एरिया? टोटल एरिया हम इसका लेंगे, यानी कि A1 टोटल. इसमें नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स पर यूनिट लेंथ है N1, लेंथ है L, तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स कितनी होगी? N1 इंटू L. एक टर्न का एरिया है A, तो सारी टर्न्स का कितना एरिया होगा? N1LA. That's what we have done. And cos 0 you know it. So we found that M12 and M21 both of them are equal. Okay. Let's come to the next topic. That is eddy currents. Eddy currents. Eddy current has got a number of other names. They are also called as whirlpool current, whirlpool current, whirlpool current. They are also called as Foucault current. These are the different names given to it. But what is this eddy current? Eddy current means in case a conducting plate, I'm not talking about wire, I'm not talking about coil. If a metallic plate, conducting plate is placed in changing magnetic field, then induced current are produced in it. This is called as eddy current. These current are circular. These are circular current. That's why they are also called as whirlpool or eddy current. So what are eddy currents? These are circular current produced in a conductor when placed, conducting plate, when placed in changing magnetic field or changing magnetic flux. Okay. These are circular currents produced in a conducting metallic plates when placed in changing magnetic field. Now, how are these? They look like this. Like if I have a conductor like this, they will look like this. They will look like this. That's what they call as whirlpool or. So how are they produced? Suppose I have a pendulum like thing. I have a metal sheet over here, and I keep it in changing magnetic field. How I'm keeping it in changing magnetic field? I'm making it oscillate between north and south pole of a magnet. That means if this coil will come towards this side, what is happening? It is coming closer to the magnetic field. So magnetic flux with respect to it is increasing. If it goes away, again it decreases, and this way it is going on. That means this metallic sheet is subjected to changing magnetic field or magnetic flux continuously. As a result of it, some circular currents keep on developing in it. These are called as what? Eddy currents. These are called as eddy currents. Now because of this eddy currents, this metallic plate might get heated up also. Such properties of eddy currents are utilized for a number of things. Very first advantage I am talking about here itself, it is the induction furnace. Because of eddy currents, you can heat up these metals. Otherwise, if you have to heat up this metal, you have to use either electrical energy, heating Joule's heating effect of current, that is to be done, or you have to use coal or some other fuel. But very easy way to heat up this metal is by keeping it in changing magnetic field. If you keep it in changing magnetic field, what will happen? Just keep on oscillating, it will get heated up. It will save a lot of fuel also. So let's discuss few advantages through few activities also. You know what is a solenoid? So in solenoid, if we take a cardboard or any such box, plastic box, and we just coil a wire around it, and I connect it to battery, this becomes my what? A current carrying solenoid which behaves like a magnet. If I keep a metallic cover on top of it, I'll find that this metallic cover, it goes up. As soon as you switch on the current, this metallic goes up. How does it work? When you switch on this, as soon as you switch on this, the current will start flowing in. This current carrying solenoid will start behaving like a magnet. Suppose this side becomes its south pole. Just giving an example, this side becomes its south pole. Then this metallic sheet which you have kept on top of it, it will also get magnetized. But will get magnetized in such a way, obeying Lenz's rule, that this side will also become south pole. Why it has got magnetized? Because it is subjected to changing magnetic field. Initially the magnetic field was zero, but as soon as you switch it on, what happens? The current starts flowing in it. Because of this current which is flowing in it, magnetic field is changing in it. The same change in magnetic field is experienced with this metallic cover. As a result of it, some induced current is produced in it, but the induced current produces such that it opposes its own cause. What is the cause? South pole coming up over here. So this side will also become south pole. As a result of it, it will repel and will go up. In case the current is constant, this thing will not happen. But in case the current is varying, this thing will continue to happen all the time. Again, if you switch off, again the same thing will happen. Because when you are changing the magnetic field, magnetic flux is changing. This is metallic cover. On this metallic cover, eddy currents are produced, and obeying the Lenz's law, it goes up. Okay. As I was explaining you before also, if I have a metallic sheet like this and it is subjected to magnetic field of two magnets, like in case I do not have these magnets, it might oscillate for, let's say, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. But when I keep these magnets, then eddy currents start forming on this metallic sheet. As a result of it, it will come to rest comparatively in a lesser duration of time. It will experience as if some viscous force is there, and it will come to, because in case you bring it towards south, it is coming towards south, what will happen? If it is coming on its own towards south, then some eddy currents will develop on it because it is placed in changing magnetic flux, but those eddy currents are such which will oppose the coming of this towards south. That means it will be developing which direction? In clockwise direction. That means it is trying to come towards it, but the south pole is saying no, don't come towards me. When it comes towards north pole, the other phase of it will develop what? Anti-clockwise current. क्योंकि anti-clockwise मतलब कि north pole की तरफ वो भी नहीं आने देगा. असली में oscillation होनी थी ऐसे होनी थी. It will get confined. South pole के पास जाएगा वो कहेगा दूर चला. North pole के पास जाएगा दूर चला. तो इसकी जो मूवमेंट है वो क्या हो जाएगी? कम हो जाएगी. ऐसा लगेगा किसी विस्कस फोर्स में है, कोई इसको रोक रहा है, फ्रिक्शन टाइप लग रही है ताकि रुक गए. ये जो प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, ये जो हमने डिस्कस करी, दे आर यूज्ड एट मेनी प्लेसेस. सो वी हैव गॉट सर्टेन advantages or merits of uses of eddy currents. First is, it is used in diathermy. What is diathermy? In medical science, many problems are, many diseases, they are simply corrected by heating. Like So this is called as diathermy, like treating certain problems with the help of only heating effect, that is diathermy. So because it produces eddy current, it produces heating effect, so it is used over there. Second, it is used for the construction of or the designing of dead beat galvanometers. As explained, the needle of the galvanometer will come to rest immediately. How it will come to immediately? In very short duration of time because of eddy current. Okay. Third, it is used in electrical meters. You must have seen the electrical meters of the olden times. There's a drum-like thing which is rotating. That is because of eddy current it is happening. Fourth, it is used in furnaces, induction furnace, alright, induction furnace. These are the few advantages of eddy currents. Now, limitations or demerits. First and major demerits, it causes undesirable heating effect in transformers, motors, generators, etc. This is one of the major causes of power loss, and it causes an undesirable heating effect. Because of it, many a times the motor gets burnt also. Okay, so this is eddy current. What are eddy currents? These are circular currents produced in a conductor due to changing magnetic flux. What are the advantages? 3-4 advantages you should remember: that it is used in diathermy, it is used for designing deadbeat galvanometers, it is used in electrical meters, it is used in induction furnace for heating metals. Demerit: it causes undesirable heating effect in the transformer, motor, generator, etc. Can they be minimized? They cannot be completely eliminated, but definitely they can be minimized. How can we minimize them? If you've ever seen a charger or something, the inner part of it, you must have seen that instead of a particular full iron block, they have something like this, just like sheets, too many sheets taken together. It looks like this. Instead of taking one full iron block, what they do is they take simple, small thin sheets. Like instead of taking one full block, what have they done is, let us write 3-dimensionally. Instead of taking one full block, what they have done is they have taken thin sheets taken together like this. They have taken like this. What is the purpose of taking this, and what is it called? It is called as laminated iron core. Iron core लगा होता है ट्रांसफॉर्मर में, स्टेप डाउन ट्रांसफॉर्मर में. This is called as laminated iron core. Laminated iron core. Instead of taking one full solid thing like this, what they have done is they have taken thin sheets and they have enameled it, they have painted it, insulated it from each other. What is the purpose of it? In case they are doing like this, then more resistance is offered. As a result of it, the eddy currents are reduced. Now the current, instead of previously the current was flowing like this from the whole surface. Now they will be confined to the small region. That means these eddy currents are minimized now. So how can you minimize eddy currents? Eddy currents are minimized. Current are minimized. By using laminated core of transformer. This is what it is. Okay, that's all this in this chapter. In the next class we'll come up with numericals. Okay, bye and take care.